I'm here with Heather Watson from Arendelle Limited, and welcome to our little video recording that we're doing here at Love Business 2025. Heather, tell us a little bit about Arendelle, who you are, where you are, what sorts of things you do.
Right, at Arendelle, we do bookkeeping and accounts for small businesses. So that means sole traders, small limited companies, partnerships, or just an individual that might need help filling out some kind of form, or household accounts. So yeah, that's what we do.
And how many people do you have in the team?
There's 3 of us.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about how you attract your clients.
Oh, so when we first started, we literally put an ad on the local Facebook page, just telling them our story and why it was we decided to go on our own, and got our first client within 24 hours from that.
Wow.
And then the second client was literally a tradesman came to the house to do some work. I was telling him what I did, and he said, "Oh, I need a bookkeeper," and that was my second client. And then from there, it's just kind of grown recommendations, a few Facebook ads, and a few people that have come to me, and I never asked them how they heard about me, so I don't actually know.
All right. So there's sort of a word of mouth, referral kind of stuff, really, which is clearly based on a reputation and good service
Yeah.
that you've provided to your clients. What sort of things do you know about why they want to work with you if they've had that
I
recommendation?
think one of the things, I had a few yesterday, so it was good because I've got this fresh. One of them was that they'd been told that I was really good at what I did and highly recommended, and which is, for me, which makes me feel really good that I'm obviously doing something right. And I think some of the feedback was that I know my stuff, and that I give good advice. And if you can't do something, I'm going to tell you. But if you're not doing something that you can do, I'm going to tell you that as well. So
So a trusted partner
yeah,
giving your expertise. It sounds very much like what you talk about or the way that you effectively market through the referrals or recommendations is on the outcome. Somebody has had a positive outcome,
yeah,
and then they're coming to you to say, can you deliver that for me? Would that be fair?
yes, definitely.
And so what sort of things do you do with that information, with those, with that sort of outcomes knowledge? Do you do testimonials, case studies, that kind of thing?
No, I don't, and I really should. And it's only because I'm so busy looking after all my clients, I don't have the time to do it for myself, which is a classic thing someone in small business would say.
It
I
is.
don't have time for myself, and I do put time aside on a Saturday to do my work, but that probably falls way down at the bottom. So by the time that I would think about putting anything on the website, I'd probably rather go and watch a movie on TV or something.
You had enough.
I've had enough, yeah. And but it's I've had emails from clients just telling me how good. I just want to say that I'm really happy with everything you've done. So really, I should be doing something with that, and I'm guilty, very guilty of not.
We're all guilty in a small business, so
Yeah.
treating ourselves with less of a priority perhaps than our clients. But that's obviously quite an easy thing to do. I say easy, it's relatively straightforward. You've got the information, you've got the quotes, you've got the testimonials, even if you were to create a graphic or put them on your website.
Yeah,
Because what people are looking for is, are they any good? I think they are.
yeah,
Where's the evidence? And it sounds like evidence is quite an important part of
yeah.
that journey. Why are you here at an exhibition like Love Business?
Well, it was recommended to me by another business that's local in my village, and we're part of the same traders group. Um, I'd done another one that I'd not been so happy about, and he mentioned, "Oh, I've done that one before. Yeah, that's not so great. The Love Business is really good. I've got lots of contacts out of that, and it's been beneficial, and I do it every year now." So I actually followed his advice, and like I already know by just the way people are here, it's just a different atmosphere. It's just more intimate, which is, I think, for our type of business, we want people to come and have a chat with us.
To meet you,
To me,
find out the people
yeah,
that they'll be working with.
yeah,
Okay, so something like this where there's obviously a lot of awareness generation, they're walking past and they're getting to talk to you. What sort of things do you give away to them? What sort of things do you get them to remind them that you exist
we
afterwards?
we're giving away a humble bookmark. which has all the details of everything we do on it, plus how to get in contact with us. Just something that's so simple that someone can just have with them in their diary, or in a book if they're reading a book.
In a bookkeeping. So there's that keeping and that done as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing. You're doing any follow-ups with them?
We've had a few. If people give us their card details and stuff, I will follow them up with an email just to see.
And how do you find that? Because some people like are really reluctant to use things like the telephone to follow up. Some people prefer email because they feel it's less intrusive. What's your view on that?
What I normally do is do an email, but in the email I'll say I'll give you a ring in a couple of days.
So you're giving them.
So I'm letting them know I'm not calling them. And I do that because, one, I know how annoying it is when you're a business owner, you're doing something and the phone rings at someone, you're just like, I'm just not in the right frame of mind for this call right now. So sometimes when you send an email and you tell someone you're calling, they might come back and say, oh, I'm free this time, or maybe we should meet for a coffee or something, which is even better. Because the face-to-face, you can't beat that when you're actually in the flesh with someone having a chat. So
what I like about that is that you're saying you're doing quite a soft approach. You're reminding them that you exist, but you're saying, I'm going to call you, rather than saying, would you like a call, or can they have a call, which makes people have an option of saying no.
Yes.
Whereas if you say you're going to call them and you follow them up, that's
years of working in banking and working as customer service in banking. Open.
And it works. It works.
I do it now without thinking, but these are all skills that I pass on to my clients as well. So even though we do the bookkeeping admin, we kind of want to offer a whole business service as a new business trying to start up. And these are all the things you need to be doing to try and be successful. I mean, there is no magic wand. People, these people that say, oh, I can get me this much amount of business in the first 3 months. That's not true.
It's not true.
Without working, but yeah, it's not true. You have to put the work in to see the benefits later on.
Out of interest, if you were to think about your working week, and I know, you say you put your own stuff last, what percentage of the week do you spend on your own marketing, would you say?
It's probably really bad, not 10%. Okay, yeah. Because that's me the week, because we literally sit of an evening, I'll sit there, right, I'm going to put a Facebook ad together, and then I'll send it to my business development manager, who's also my daughter, and I go, what do you think of this? And then she might tweak it up a bit. Then she's usually the one that will post it everywhere.
Okay.
So it's just things like it's literally done on an impulse a lot of the time. We're not good at sitting down and thinking, right, we need to put a plan together, because I think we're in a position where we don't need to do that.
Right.
But there are other businesses that need to sit down and think, right, why aren't we getting any inquiries? I need to sit down and think about what's my marketing strategy.
Here's a question, because we've done a big piece of research about how businesses buy from other businesses. And one of the interesting things that's come out from that is what people think is overemphasized and what businesses put too much effort into. Now, one of the things that a lot of businesses said to us was that businesses put a bit too much emphasis on social media and we're not that bothered by it. Sounds like for you that works very well. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because we don't saturate. It's literally once in a blue moon, and it's usually because something's come about that's made us think, oh, like, for instance, the end of the tax year, we've put an ad out this week just because we're saying, did you drown in it? Think about getting a bookkeeper, so next time it's not going to be the last minute rush before the 31st of January. So we try to be on par with what's happening at the time.
Keeping your eye on things.
Keeping our eye on things. So sometimes we can go weeks without posting anything. So it really is done on keeping an eye on what the situation is.
And then that doesn't have an impact from your perspective. So, like I say, one of the things that people said was they maybe do too much. If you've not got a lot of time, we want to really focus on the things that work, and that might be an event like this, and rather than sending out a load of social media.
And it's business to business. Events like this are still probably one of the most important ways of getting clients, other than recommendations.
Yeah.
You don't have many business people that go onto Facebook and social media and think, oh, I'm going to find a partner to do that on Facebook. It doesn't really, it's not really how people work. LinkedIn maybe, but I just think nowadays when it's business to business, I think it's still meeting people in the flesh, and I think that's something that I can't see that ever changing.
People buy from people, right?
Yeah.
Still. Okay. Thank you. Really appreciate you spending time with me today. Tell people, like, how can people get in touch with you? What's your website address, social handles, whatever?
So we're Arendelle Limited. Our website is www.arendelle.co.uk. Really easy. We're in the village of Eastleek, which is just outside of Loughborough, but we have clients all over the world. So, and when I say that, I really mean that. We have a film director and producer who's actually coming over in a couple of weeks to do filming, but we opened up their limited company for them here, and we're doing their bookkeeping here because they want to keep it kind of separate from the US side. So yes, we are international.
International, global superpower. Thank you, Heather. Really appreciate
That's
it.
okay.